Hello and welcome to Box, where we unbox, review and demonstrate the latest tech. Today we have with us the MSI Oculux NXG253R eSports gaming monitor.
For professional gamers and general PC users alike, this monitor delivers a stunningly sharp display that lets you play games at peak performance. Used in competitive esports matches, the MSI Oculux is equipped to ensure you get ultra smooth, super responsive game time from everything you play thanks to that 360Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time. Taking it out of the box, you'll find it comes with a good amount of connection cables and power leads to get you started. For connections, you get an HDMI to HDMI, DisplayPort to DisplayPort, and USB 3.2 Type B, which you'll need later for using the NVIDIA Reflex. The power cable is nice and long, giving plenty of stretch for reaching awkward power outlets. The stand comes in two pieces, with a large square base plate and a long supporting arm. It's really easy to fit the stand, just slot it into the cutout on the back, screw it in place with the two screws provided, and mount the base plate to the end of the arm, screwing it tightly in place. Along the sides and bottom of the screen, you'll find a handful of ports and connections. On the base there's two HDMIs, a DisplayPort, a microphone headphone port, a power input and a USB Type B. On the left hand side, there's three inbuilt USB slots with one supporting mouse connection for the NVIDIA Reflex. With everything plugged in and powered on, let's take a look at the design. It's a decent size, measuring at 24.5 inches across, offering plenty of room for everyday browsing and office work, as well as playing some of your favourite game titles. It seems to fit in well with my space, leaving plenty of room for other accessories and even a second monitor. The display itself has a nice thin bezel around the edge, really making use of all the screen space on offer. Along the bottom, there's a very subtle inlaid MSI logo, coupled with a hidden on-off switch underneath the screen on the lower right-hand corner. The housing isn't as luxurious as some monitors. It's quite light, covered in a black plastic exterior with some more game-specific decals on the back, but when powered on, the display instantly shows its hidden potential. Turning it around, there's a mix of textures and pattern, with half supporting a nice brushed metal design, adorned with a shiny embossed MSI dragon that nicely reflects light. The large NVIDIA G-Sync sign does slightly offset the classy design just a little, but as it's not prominently on display, it won't be as noticeable. Just on the bottom corner of the screen, you'll find a handy red joystick control. Now this is specifically for navigating the MSI OSD in the bottom corner, bringing up standard settings as well as making quick work of toggling game and picture modes on and off. But I love this inbuilt menu as it's quick and simple to find features you want with just a few clicks. The stand is perfect for keeping the monitor well balanced and secure, and as it's flat, it's really easy to move any keyboard over or around it if I'm short on space. The tilt, pan and swivel on this monitor is very satisfying. I can adjust the monitor significantly in any direction, even allowing full portrait mode if I want a layout better suited to my work. The height extension is great for taller people like myself, measuring at 130mm at full height, easily allowing me to position it to fit my eyeline. When extended to full height, it does reveal a small hole for tucking away cables, helping maintain that clean, minimal look. So getting into the specs on this monitor, you get a 1920 by 1080 resolution, a full HD Rapid IPS display with HDR capabilities. As it's an eSports monitor, you do get some really impressive features here, like being able to achieve up to 360Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time, as well as having perks like G-Sync, Reflex Latency Analyzer, and ultra low motion blur for ultra smooth lag-free gameplay. As well as having detailed colour within games, having access to a wide colour gamut, an 84% DCI-P3 and 109 sRGB colour space is completely colour accurate, which is highly beneficial in more ways than one, seeing natural colours in movies as well as true colours within video and photography editing software. For the most part, I use the HDMI connection to the display, though it only lets me access up to 240Hz refresh rate throughout. But of course, for the gamers, you'd want to use the DisplayPort connection, which gives you full access to that 360Hz refresh rate, which is very noticeable when jumping from the usual range of 60 to 144Hz. Everything is beautifully smooth, from the fluidity of the mouse to opening menus on the home screen, and of course playing demanding games. But it mainly shines in esports titles, with smooth transitions and clean gameplay with no interruptions during crucial life or death moments. With nothing slowing you down, you have no setbacks, letting you play to your full potential. Now, playing a few movies and trailers, it's a pretty good display, showing sharp visuals, rich colours and a nice bright image. I can manage the brightness easily enough if I need to turn it up, but by default it puts out a max of 400 nits brightness. The anti-glare screen does really help during the day, helping reduce any harsh bright light down to a soft patch on the screen. Now, it does have a 178-degree wide viewing angle, which really helps knowing that I can position the display at even the sharpest angle and still get a full undistorted view. Taking a closer look at the OSD, you get a good idea on what features you can enable to fully access the potential of this monitor. Now, I do like the full range of game modes available, as it really helps adjust the picture best to the type of game I'm playing. As a plus, I can even apply each one without leaving the game screen, letting me know how it affects the picture in real time. Even with the easy access to the OSD, I can still make this even quicker by simply assigning the function to a specific direction on the navi key, giving even quicker access to the features I use most. But from the gaming section, I mainly made use of the dark boost, response time and refresh rate features. The refresh rate counter was very helpful in knowing which rate I had access to, hovering in the top left corner even when switching between content. I had response time set to fastest whenever I could, knowing it would really come in handy during those high performance games. For the most part, I wasn't disappointed. The picture was relatively consistent and I had very little encounters with choppy frame rates during online gameplay. When playing a mostly dark title like a Plague Tale, I thought dark boost came in handy most, lifting dark spots in the shadows to help see collectibles and any hidden danger in good time to react. I did find, however, that some features disabled others, which is very understandable. Within the G-Sync processor category, I noticed that dark boost and response time became unavailable when I turned on eSports mode, for example. I assume this is largely down to eliminating conflicts in features for overall eye comfort. The majority of the gameplay you see throughout this video has been played with G-Sync eSports mode enabled and 340 to 360 Hz refresh rate depending on the HDMI or DisplayPort connection, as well as some titles with HDR. Of course, quite a few of these features needed enabling or selecting within the PC settings, such as the refresh rate and HDR. After playing a handful of titles from racing, story-driven and battle royale games, I got a good idea on how it performs. I found the gameplay to be beautifully smooth and I didn't see any imperfections, lag or stuttering throughout. The high refresh rate really helped when playing games like Fortnite, as the often intense action on screen seemed to play out much easier on the eyes. I played a few games with features like G-Sync, fast response time and HDR turned on and off to give you a good idea on how they affect the game. I saw a lot less stuttering when crashing through walls in Forza Horizon 4 with G-Sync enabled for a much smoother, flicker-free experience. Overall, I felt G-Sync was the perfect tool to aid a better performance in game. Understandably, this is a gaming monitor built to support esports gamers or raise the display quality to the level of your at-home system, offering support for crucial enhancements like NVIDIA Reflex, ultra-low motion blur, ray tracing and DLSS. Of course, to access most of these, you will need a compatible GPU and graphics card to use them to their full potential. For NVIDIA Reflex, I used a Razer DeathAdder V2 Pro gaming mouse plugged into the allotted USB port on the side of the monitor, and with that I could access the real-time menu that shows if your system is performing at the lowest possible latency. With it being an IPS display, I know they can sometimes suffer from the glow effect when watching dark content, so I did a few tests just to check, and luckily I saw no backlight bleed or glow when showing a completely black image. I also quickly checked for dead pixels and thankfully saw nothing to worry about. Luckily, this monitor is also great for hooking up your games console to give dual purpose to your display. With the Xbox Series X here, I was able to connect via HDMI and play a few of the latest titles with some of these gaming perks. Again, I saw little discrepancies in the picture. Of course, with the resolution being HD and having a 2.0 HDMI input, you won't be able to achieve full 4K at 120Hz on your desired console, but you can enjoy 1080p at 120Hz, which is an okay compromise. After a few hours, I can honestly say that this is a good display for both gaming and movies, as well as just general use. The display size was big enough to fit multiple windows when working and watching videos, and the HD content coupled with select enhancements really made a difference in the quality. Gameplay was nice and sharp with very little inconsistencies, and I loved how smooth the performance was when playing some esports favourites. It's a brilliant choice for any PC setup, and considering the cost, it's not hard to see how this could seriously elevate any gaming experience.
So what are your thoughts on this MSI monitor? Let us know in the comments below, and if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Box, where we have plenty of hands-on reviews on the latest tech. And as always, thanks for watching.